Welcome back to another episode of the Offer Hustle. It's your favorite cousin Deona Hustle, your MC, DJ, host, all in three. It's me. Welcome back to another episode. It's been a while. Is this like our Happy New Year? Low key? No? Okay, no. This time, our time has been, I've been all over the place with 2026 because, it's almost February at this point. But welcome back, cousins. Appreciate y'all for always tapping in. Shout out to NSPN, and then also shout out, of course, to the shop. Shout out to them. All right, so we got a couple different conversations. Before we even started recording, we were talking about lingering friends. Lingering friends when you're trying to talk to somebody. So say maybe you are at a bar, and maybe you just hanging out. Maybe you got a homegirl with you or something. And maybe it's a homegirl that is just kind of lingering around. And then you have a guy, girl, anybody that's just trying to talk to you. They come up to you, and now they're kind of intimidated by your lingering friend. What do you do? Now, I have, of course, two men in the room, and I want to ask you guys, what do you do in a situation where you feel like you're trying to talk to a girl, but you feel some type of way about her friend kind of still lingering? What makes you feel uncomfortable about the lingering, if it even does?
For me, it was, I think, sometimes the friend is judging you as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're kind of having to put on a little bit of a show here. You kind of got to impress both of them almost in a sense.
You do.
Because I just remember one girl I was talking to. Mm-hmm. I was in the club and she had told me later on, like, yeah, my friend got mad because you bought me a drink. Oh. And you didn't buy her a drink. And I was like, well, I wasn't trying to get with her.
Yeah.
And also, she was talking to another dude. He should have done that. You know
if she was talking to another
that's
dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's on
your
him.
point of view. Esai?
I've been out the game for a while. But
Jersey's up in
the Raptors. Yeah,
absolutely.
But I think in those situations, the best thing to do is crack a joke to the friend that you're not trying to talk to and break the ice with them first. Because in my head, the girl that you are wanting to talk to is going to look at you talking to her friend and seeing them kind of like put down that wall.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, he's cool.
Yeah. I agree. And I'm going to say that as a woman, I've had times where maybe it was a guy that was trying to talk to one of my friends and it's maybe just the two of us. Speak to both. Don't be weird. Because now if you don't do that and nobody else is talking to her, it seems weird. Like it automatically seems like, hey, like I'm here. So, yeah, it does. I think it is a bonus. You get bonus points if you speak to both of them because you see that they are one entity in a sense.
But I will say this. You should definitely compliment the girl that you're trying to
differentiate
talk to first.
Yeah.
Before you go over to the friend. So, like, when you go and introduce yourself to the girl you like, give her a nice little compliment, let her know that you're interested.
You're interested in her.
And then go over to the friend, crack the joke.
Right.
And keep the conversation going with her friend.
Yeah.
And let the girl you're trying to talk to be the one on like third wheel kind of in the conversation.
Oh, see, you trying to be
for a second, though.
Oh, okay.
Not for long.
I was gonna say it sounds like you're trying to play both sides and get her a little jealous or something.
No, not get her jealous. Just to let her know that you can
hold a conversation
with her friends.
Even with her friend.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's fair. Yeah, but make sure y'all speak to both because
I'm talking like 30
seconds. yeah, right. Nothing too crazy because honestly, not everybody can hold a conversation either. And if you're in a club, nobody likes the people that's, hey, what's your name? What's that? What do you do?
I've
no
done
hot alcohol breath. Like always keep mints on you when you in the club. I like you know how much gum I always keep. Like, and I got space. I'm in the booth, so I'm nowhere near people for real. But you gotta stay on your game and that type of element.
I always, if I am talking to someone in the club or when I was, I'd always like talk away from there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just
like look
talk
like,
loud enough, but not because I never know because I already know I've been drinking. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time I was in the club, I tried to go up. Okay,
please tell us.
Okay, have you ever had it to where you're in the club and you're playing eye tag?
Oh,
right?
You just kind of peep,
and
each other.
And the whole for a while. So for what I thought I was, and I went up to her in the club. This is Lotus, but I slipped on a drink. So when I went to tap her arm, I kind of shoved her. And I was like, oh, and then I was like, do you want to dance? And then she was like, nah. And I was like, that's why I'm trying to pick up girls in the club. Sometimes it can be rough.
Yeah, you got to go parking lot pimping after that.
Yeah.
You just got to wait till after the function and stuff. Dang, slipping and then you accidentally pushed her.
Yeah, I didn't even know what to do because then it looked like, I just went up and pushed her and then left. So I had to save it.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, that's tragic. That sounds like something off of a movie or something.
Yeah, it was, and it was my birthday too.
Ah, damn. Yep. I hate to say it. Don't be this guy. Don't do that. Now, have y'all seen this skit going around, the Druski skit where he was like, hanging from, it was like a mega church kind of reenactment. He was hanging in the sky, flying in the sky, and had the Dior blazer, the chains. I think he had like a car inside the shirt. It was a bunch of stuff. But of course, a lot of people have been having all type of mixed reviews about it. Now, my personal review, before I, of course, ask you guys of it, is as somebody that has grown up in the church, I didn't go to a mega church. So my church was never like that. My church was always trying to fundraise and, make it bigger and better. But I've never been in a church that was like that, super performative. So I have seen plenty of pastors be super over the top. Now, I think it's a line. I think that it's no different than when teachers are in a classroom and they understand that to keep kids' attention, they might have to throw in 6, 7 to get their, to keep them engaged. So I feel like pastors that are, of this day and age realize, what, if I preach this like it was 1990, they're not gonna receive it the same. So maybe I do have to be a little animated. I don't think it's anything wrong with that, but I do think there are some people that are taking advantage of that, and there are some false prophets in that too. But I think it's a fine line. Whether we know who are those false prophets or not is to be continued. We'll get documentaries on it 10 years later about so-and-so was, stealing from the pulpit. But right now, I think it is a difference between trying to teach in 2026 versus you just doing too much and making a mockery out of the word of God. And with that being said, I don't think it was nothing wrong with what Druski skit was, because he was making fun of the people that are those false prophets. I don't feel like he was making fun of the people that's actually trying to preach and teach and lead people, to better days in the gospel. So that's why I wasn't offended by it. I thought it was pretty funny because, it was a pastor that just went viral for flying in the air. I don't even know the details about that. So it was like he didn't make anything up. He did exactly what's being done. And the last thing I'm going to add is, as somebody that has grown up in the church and also grown up with people saying certain stigmas about just church culture, I understand where people aren't of it. They come to this point, well, why they need to get paid? Well, why do we have to put money? Why we have to pay tithes and offering? You still have to fund it. Let's be honest. You still have to fund the church building. The lights are not on by prayer. The deacons and all of these other people, the gloves ain't paid for by prayer. You have to be realistic. Things have to get paid for within the church to keep it moving. But what I'm kind of not a fan of is when I do see some of the people with a lot of outlandish stuff. I think you should have nice things. I don't think God wants us on earth not to have nice things. But if you are the leader of a church, you do have to be very careful of what you allow yourself to have. If you got that Rolls Royce, it might, that doesn't mean, it's two things. You could be good at what you do as far as being a teacher. You get other things, so I feel like I hate with the stigma when people say, oh, well, that person's a pastor. They need to be in a 1920 Cadillac that's broke down in a shack. To me, that's not true either, because then if you on the outside looking in, you'll be like, well, why would I listen to this person if they don't look successful? Because you're like, if God didn't do it for you, why would he do it for me? And you the pastor. So I feel like it's contradictory in so many ways, but I feel like people have a perception that in order to be a Christian or of some type of faith, you have to be struggling. And that's not always true. But I understand when people look at certain individuals and they see them leading the church and they see all the money and the flash, it does start to look a little sketch and scandalous. So I want to open it up to you guys.
Well, I saw a comment on that one. Mm-hmm. They said, well, someone's like, you never have to pay for the word of God. You've never had to pay for that. Mm-hmm. And also with the Rolls Royce and all that, pulling up to church and all that. And if we're going by that, I mean, Jesus rode around on a donkey, on a horse. You know what I mean? Like
they didn't have a Rolls Royce back then. Let's be real.
But I'm just saying, he's still got he's the word out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You don't need any of that.
People aren't Jesus. That's the thing.
But these people are trying to be Christ-like.
And you should be Christ-like. But that's that goes back to what I said about just because you are somebody that's teaching the gospel, is it going to look better to people if you have nothing? Because I feel like that's what people want.
If it's someone who's there and they're wanting just the word of God and they're wanting something to help them through tough times, then it don't matter. Like, I mean, you've taken advice from people who don't wear flashy stuff at all. You know what I mean? Word of God is advice to help you get through life. So, help worship him. You don't need all this. I haven't said that. You don't need to go to church. What you sound like you're saying. Catholic Church, for example, they don't even open their doors to homeless people all the time, like during bad storms, through all that stuff. And it's kind of like, well, I don't know. There's just some things and there's some contradictories, whatever the word is. Yeah. And also they're giving Druski a lot of crap for that.
A lot of flack.
But there was a whole HBO show called Righteous Gemstones, and I hear no one say nothing. It's the whole thing is making fun of that exact same thing. It's Danny McBride, a bunch of people, and it's all about that, and it's making fun of that, and they didn't say nothing about that.
Point made.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention that Righteous Gemstones for people who want to see the
Let's see
hypocrisy of it, I guess. But that's the one part that I was like, it was so hilarious that Druski did that, because it is true that like there are plenty of pastors of mega churches that are taking advantage of the money that they get, and they're getting like literally ungodly amounts of tax-free money. And for me, I'm thinking that like if you have an excess where you can get private jets or you can get Rolls Royce, pay a tithe back to your people that are giving the tithe to you.
Yeah.
Like, imagine the cheapest private jet is probably like $30 million. You got, say, 1,000 people showing up to your congregation every Sunday. That $33 million could be $3,000 to each of those people.
So my question to you is, if that pastor has those resources financially and maybe partially flashy of some sort, and if you see them giving away scholarships, then what? Like, what would be?
It's still would
feel uncomfortable, right?
Yeah, but to your point, like of they can have nice things.
Yeah,
nice things are good. That's fine. Modestly though, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's over the top to go get a Dior suit.
The Dior suit that says
the red
Dior
bottom shoes
is
it's over the top.
The Dior suit. I mean, I don't think anybody actually worn that.
Somebody probably has though.
Well, there was an AI picture going around of another pastor that they put. That wasn't real, but so I mean, I understand with some of that stuff. There is I think modesty is important as a leader. That if you are a leader of a religion, or faith, I think modesty is important. Yeah. But I don't think that you should be. I don't think you should, if you have resources for different things legally, like, and it's not fraud and stuff, that you should be, oh, well, I'm scared of what people will think if I get a new Nissan Altima. Like,
it's a great line, though. No, that's modest.
But not if you get a Nissan Sport, okay, but look, you know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, like, you can get a nice car for $30,000. These cars that they're getting are $250,000 to $500,000 cars.
Yes.
Very luxury, very unnecessary. There's a pastor that has a mega church down south somewhere. I don't know. He has a fleet of private jets.
Oh, jets.
Private jets.
That jets.
And like, it's just like, you made the comment that we're not Jesus, but I believe that his word was misconstrued a lot, because I believe that he was trying to tell us that we were all like him, and we have that.
Well, we do have him.
Well, not even that we have him in us. That like we are all one and the same. That we are all like everything is internal, not external.
Yeah.
And he was a very big on material things not being important.
That's true.
So
that's very true.
I don't know.
But then here we are in 2026, and materialistic things are very important.
We live in the devil's world too.
Yeah,
so,
facts.
Yeah,
and I mean, and so that's what I like. I understand and agree with what you guys are saying.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that there's a modesty that should come with your job, because that to me is being responsible.
Right.
Like, you have to be responsible in the fact of, okay, I don't want people to even look at me sideways, and I don't want them missing the word of God.
Right.
Now, people are going to get distracted by whatever they want to get distracted by.
Yeah.
You could have on some pink shoes. If they allow themselves to get distracted because of them pink shoes, there's a level of that's on them.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying too. It's both. Can you receive this message without all these many distractions that you feel like some people on the outside that aren't of the church would be like, I couldn't watch a sermon because he got this in the parking lot, and all these things. So I understand, and that goes back to you having your own relationship with God, having your own faith, and knowing what's good, what feels good to you. If you feel like you can't go to somebody's church, by all means, get up out of there and go to a church where you feel like, you could be cool, you could be good at, you won't feel like you have to question the leaders and their morals.
And I don't think putting these pastors on a pedestal is good either, because like they're as human as us. Like, seeing a pastor going viral because some chick walked by giving an offering and she had a fatty on her, and he said, "Oh Lord, please forgive me," while he stared. And it's like, they're human. They're no
human.
different than us. But I believe that some of them take advantage of the word of God for monetary gain when they don't live in the way, and because they're human, like they're not
right. They're going to battle with same things.
They're going to battle the same demons we do.
Right.
But when you're putting yourself in a place of leadership like that, you do, in a sense, have to live the lifestyle that you preach.
You do. I agree. Practice what you preach.
But I was also going to say, like, with the pedestal, like, them being on a kind of taking them off that, because like I went to Catholic school my whole life.
Really?
We had a priest that would walk in, and he made us stand up every time he came in. Like, he wanted, like,
that's kind of. I feel like that might be a little bit normal. I don't know.
But it wasn't us just doing it. Like, the teachers telling us to do that. He told them, like, the head school and all that to make.
Is that how Catholic churches work?
No.
Oh, no?
No, he was doing too much.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know, not judges. I know when judges step in the courtroom, you stand up.
But that's but you know that, though. He came in and told them
to stand up.
Make sure that they stand up when I walk in. Which is, I'm like, all right.
You got too much dip on your chip, huh?
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, that could be true. Well, that was a good conversation. Another topic that I forgot to talk about before, the food stamp conversation. There's been a lot of conversation around certain bans within food stamps. And one of those things has been, should snacks or candy or soda, any of those type of things be banned for anyone that receives food stamps? And first and foremost, I will say this. I believe that with the current administration that we have, and I feel like we've seen it time and time again, the idea is, let's throw in something that people can actually get behind. Maybe people can be like, oh, that's okay. That's cool. Like, that's actually healthy. Or like, it gets people on the side of, oh yeah, we think that's good, so let's do it. Then they get their foot in the door to changing things, and then they get rid of the whole thing. And everyone's like, well, wait, we didn't know you were going to do all of that. And I feel like he's done that I feel like the administration has done that when it came to ICE. There's just a 5-year-old boy that was just detained. I think that happened in the last 48 hours. There's people that are clearly not, like, it's just so much that the door has been open for a lot of BS. And so when we talk back to the food stamp conversation of should certain things, certain snacks, certain whatever be banned, I believe absolutely not. Because I don't think it's necessary, and I don't believe it's with good intentions. I don't believe that the intentions are pure. I don't believe that the idea is to be healthier. I believe that the idea is really to find some way to limit people who need help and need funding. Because when you think about it, it sucks, but when people are in situations where they need help and assistance, they get the worst assistance possible. It's like we might look at it and be like, oh, well, so and so's getting free assistance for X, Y, and Z, so they're good. The processes that people have to go through, the hoops that have to be jumped through to even get basic dentist appointments on Medicare or whatever is beyond what anybody should be having to do. So when people say, oh, so-and-so's getting this for free or this benefit, if you really knew what people had to do and all the phone calls, being on hold, because I've been in a process. I've had food stamps for a very short period of time. When I was a college student, it was like the end of my senior year, and I had to jump through some hoops and do this and do that because I wasn't working at the time. And I had it for a couple months right before COVID hit, and it was a big blessing for real. But it's just, I don't think that it should be, things should be banned or censored just because people need assistance and help. You can't try to regulate. You shouldn't regulate certain things, and I don't think it's coming from a genuine place, and I don't think that would be the end. It would be an end of trying to get rid of the whole thing.
So I will say that, like, I do believe that the food stamp should be necessity based. So, like, I don't think soda or anything should be taken off because you got to have a drink while you eat, you know? But, like, the shit that you don't need, like candy, you know, like.
Who says you don't need that?
You don't need candy.
Who says that though? That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's a want. That's clear. That's a clear want though.
But like a need is what? What's a need then? Like
stuff
that's
that is nutrient, like
but that's
food,
what I'm saying.
Like real food, like meats.
But you understand
cheeses,
what I'm
milks,
saying though is
produce.
If we open up the door, there's a door that is going to be open to regulate one thing, and it's not going to be just that. It's going to be regulating. Well, actually, all y'all can get is government cheese and this, because I feel like in America we treat people poorly if we feel like they need assistance. So it's like that's the grounds for what I'm talking about.
And like at some point somebody in our families have used government assistance.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
But everybody should strive to not need the government to live. Like that's just
in a perfect
basic.
world, absolutely.
In a perfect world, sure. But the one thing that I don't think is being thought about is if they allow every single thing in a grocery store to be allowed by those food stamps, like candy.
I think the only thing that should be off is liquor. Even hot foods candy, at one point cream, wasn't on the list. Ice cream? You can't get the kids no ice cream? You gotta think
like that's something that
families.
You go at your own money though. You know what I mean? And what I'm saying is though,
that's
like,
too strict.
But what you're not putting into perspective is if you want it to last, if you want that food stamp stuff to last, imagine
$3 ice cream ain't gonna
hurt. Adding up though, like with everybody using it for every single thing. Let me just put it to you this way. You got if you put regulations on it, you know that the money that is there for the government assistance is finite. Like it's limited. It's not unlimited supply of money.
It's not. Everybody has a limit.
They put limits on it so that they know that they can allocate it throughout the whole nation to all the millions of people that need assistance.
Okay. If
you start allowing them to have every single little thing in that grocery store, if they want to get Reese's, and it like that's $2. They can go get $2 and pay for it.
This is not a reasonable argument.
It is because what I'm saying is if you allow them to buy,
you gonna back up your mans? You got some help.
He's not gonna back me up. He's not gonna back me up. No, but what I'm saying is like everybody starts doing that and starts buying every little thing. That money that is meant for food, nutrients, stuff that is actually going to benefit the health of the people using the food stamps, or not health, but like give them the nutrients they need to get through daily life.
So you think if people just buying number Reese's?
No, I'm saying if it's being spent on extra things, that money that's there for everybody is eventually gonna start going lower and lower and lower, and then everybody has less food stamp money.
I'm not following that. I'm trying. Huh? I'm trying to follow. I'm trying to follow that point.
Yeah, no.
Because I mean, yeah.
What I'm saying is it's not an unlimited amount of money that everybody has to work with. So when you start allowing these extra little things that aren't necessities.
But if you get a limit, I mean, you get most people. Well, not most people. It depends on your household and depending upon your situation.
Right. How many kids, all that.
Yeah, and all of that. So like, you might get 120, 140 for the month,
right,
or something like that. So whatever you have for that 140. I think hot foods is available now. So even at one point you couldn't go to like the deli part and get like, if you just wanted some chicken wings that were actually cooked, you couldn't get those. You had to get the raw meat and stuff like that. So even they just opened up that, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
But you can go spend it on X, Y, and Z. You can't spend it on, I don't even think you can spend it on essentials. So say you do need toilet paper. I think there was a period of time like you can't get those type of things. You can only get food because that's a different level of assistance.
Right.
So it's already limited. Like you can't just buy anything.
Income, based off of amount of children,
like you can't just buy anything. But I feel like if you say food, I mean, it opens up to anything that is edible outside of alcohol, outside of hot foods.
I would love to put blame on people that are taking advantage too, though.
I mean, well, they're already,
because I know
cracking down on that.
Plenty of people who, and not even like plenty of people I know, plenty of people that you hear everywhere. They will get mad if their kids go and get a job because it's gonna fuck up their government cheese. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's
the mindset that you're not the biggest fan of.
It's not that I'm not a big fan of. I get it. Like I respect anybody's hustle to live. You know, like everybody got to live.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like those people who want to stay in that help me, like, you need to help me mindset, are kind of fucking it up for everybody, because that money could have been, think about it, that 120 that people get could be $400 a month, when that's really like what it kind of takes for groceries if you got kids and stuff.
I get what you're trying to say. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, like, there's different little things that affect it more than just saying like, we need to just give people whatever they want when they're at the grocery store.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it should
or
stay.
allow them to get whatever.
I'm just saying that it should stay the way it is, which is if you want to get a Reese's cup for your kid because you ain't been able to get them nothing, you can't take them to Six Flags, you can't do nothing. You you just want to put a smile on their face. Like, okay, cool. I just get you this $2 Reese's cup. That's all I'm saying is like, it's, of course, every single system, there are people abusing it. Yeah. For sure. Like, there are people abusing it. But I think that it is also discussed in a manner, it's supposed to be discussed to us as regular people, that it's everybody that's misusing it so that they can try to get rid of it or regulate it more. Like, it's people that really be on that and need it. And I do understand, like, oh, you don't want to stay on it. But it's some elderly people that are in situations, they're going to be on it until, until they, kick the can. Yeah. And that's the situation they're in, because it just be so much messed up stuff when you really think about it. Like, you got the Social Security check that they're trying to eliminate too. Right. So just imagine all the elderly people that receive that, because I'm thinking about my grandmother who receives that.
Which I don't think that's real.
Hopefully it's not, but it's a lot of things that a year ago we didn't think were real, and now there are things that are happening. So it's a fair assessment to just be like, you know what, I don't think so, but you know what? Anything can happen. Anything has been going in the last year and a half. Yeah. And it's just
there's a lot of fear mongering though. Because like when it comes to social security stuff, I went to this old folks home.
You just got do your thing. I don't like we've been uncut. So do your thing.
I went to this old folks home where the governor of Minnesota was giving a speech on Social Security, and he was like the chair of Social Security. Yeah. And he was like, all this news outlets talking about how we're gonna take your Social Security away is just completely false. He's like, that's not going away for many and many and many of years. Blah blah blah. So there's a lot of fear mongering that gets people scared that shit like that's gonna go away. But I don't know. Yeah. What do you think is the percentage of people abusing government assistance?
I think it's under 30%, under 20%.
I would say that's fair. Yeah.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I mean, and I understand too when systemically, like, think about this. Say you are in a situation where you are trying to. Well, that might be illegal, so let's not say that. Never mind.
No, but you're not doing it. You just said hypothetically.
Hypothetically, and let me know you all's thoughts on this, because I don't know if it's illegal or not. But I think people need to be realistic about what's really happening in our world and how much we all try to make stuff work. So, for instance, say you are receiving some type of stamps of some sort. say you have, you also are trying to get your own business launched, and maybe your kid or maybe you are just trying to sell snacks at the concession stands at the games for, maybe it is a fundraiser and you're trying to do whatever the case may be. So maybe you do buy a couple of things with that so that you can get out of a situation where you're not dependent upon X, Y, and Z. So it's like, do people view that as abusing the system when you're just trying to get up out the situation and get out the system, but you're also being wise of the resources? Because if we being honest, there's people that don't look like us that have utilized resources, and it was normal for them to utilize the things in the manner that they did. But to us in the room, if we might do that, it might be like, whoa, 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 put your hands behind your back.
Are you talking about like buying stuff with the food stamp and selling it?
Say it again?
Are you talking about like buying stuff with the food stamp?
No, because that's legal. I know that's illegal. No, I'm talking about if you did have an allotted amount of stamps and you bought, maybe you went to Sam's and bought like some chips.
Sure.
You spent $30 of your dollars on these chips. These chips you're going to sell later, or you're going to find a way to reinvest that somehow. Maybe you're not even selling it, but you're just finding a way to use that for something else, but you're not eating it. Now, would people look at that and be like, you're not eating every single bit, we're taking your $30, but they're using it for something that's going to try to get them out of this cycle that they're in. That's what I'm saying, is utilizing the resources that are provided, but you're trying
once
to get
they buy
out
the
of it.
chips, it's their chips to do it what they want.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
You know
like,
what I mean?
it's still,
that's concession. That's concession.
Right. If you're gonna do what you're gonna do at the concession stands, that's your chips.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, is like, I understand where it's like, oh, people are abusing it. I don't think everyone is utilizing it in a manner where they're trying to be abusive. I think people are trying to get out of bad situations.
Sure.
And if they might have a month where they might need $20 in cash instead of that, I know that might not be what you should do.
It's just the people who have opportunity to get out of those bad situations and choose not to because it's easier to just collect the assistance.
That could be the case too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's. I feel like we need to get on those people more than people providing it to begin with.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah.
You don't.
Well, they do have.
Really.
Well, they have a system in place for. I mean, that's why I said, when you do any type of assistance, there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through. Yeah. There's a lot of phone calls that have to be made. You have to put your employers in for, like, it's a lot of different.
Fucking rich kid.
You have to. It's things that you.
Before my time.
Yeah, that's what I say. It's things that you have to do. So there's checks and balances in place to make sure, as to best of the ability, that people aren't taking advantage.
I also feel like, the main goal with like food stamps, I feel like if you're on it, it's to get off of them, but it's just there to help you when you're needing it the most.
Yeah.
But also I feel like for me, if I were getting on it, I'm going to try my hardest to get off of it as soon as I can, because then I know once I'm off of it, I'm doing a little bit better in life, But I know.
That's what I'm saying.
But no,
and that's
but
the
see,
thing.
like my mom, like she used to say, like, she's like, I wish I could get back on food stamps.
Yeah,
that was
I've
the
said
best.
that before plenty of times. Absolutely.
But then I told her, I was like, why not wish for more money and better stuff instead of going back on food stamps?
Yeah, but they should increase the salary amount that they accept, because the salary is piss poor. Like, you have to be making ridiculous, and it's like even then, if
minimum.
That's what I'm saying. People need assistance, because if you look, I just saw something. I feel like it was in Missouri or somewhere in the area where it was like, if you need to make, as a single person, you need to make over $80,000 a year to be okay. That's what they said. They was like, you need to be doing this. And not many people are even doing 50.
And they even said, I think Kansas has like the lowest minimum wage too here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. When you think about all the bills that people have to pay out, of course people don't have money for groceries, because you got a family. Like, if you do have a family, even for me, it's just me, but I was like, I didn't have really a solid job, because I'm in school and I'm trying to do these things. So, and that's the thing too, is if you're in school, at least back then, if you were in school, they'll consider that too. And I think I had a work study at the time, so I was putting in enough hours to qualify to do it. So of course, that's the part, is like, I don't think that it's bad if you're like, let me not do 2 extra hours so that it kicks me off the program. Because if you do those 2 extra hours, is that going to get you enough money to pay for your food? No. It's probably like $14 extra on your check, but then they'll kick you out the program. So that's why I feel like when people do, well, once again, if they're not abusing it, but if people are trying to be wise about not getting kicked out the program by not making over a certain amount, these people aren't about to make $20,000 more in their salary to make up for the difference. They're only going to be getting another extra $100 probably every other month in that check. So it's like, yeah, you want to be like, well, I ain't working over this hours because this is going to kick me off the program.
Yeah.
It's not like if you get a salary jump, of course, like, oh, you get an extra 20,000, then you don't need the food stamps. You good. But people ain't making no jump like that.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a hypothetical. Mm-hmm. What if we lived in a world where there was no such thing as government assistance, and it was just like you eat what you kill type thing? You know, like everything's off the own bootstraps of your efforts. How do you think people would be then?
I mean, it'd just be worse than what it is.
I think so?
I think it'd be more poverty, more stealing, more this, more that. Because the problem with that idea is that that's also, you have to have a conversation of everybody being treated equally.
Sure. Yeah,
and everybody having the same chances. And we haven't. Yeah. Like, so that's the thing is like, if it's just a world of this specific race, that's a different conversation. Right. But if we're talking about all of us in this world and we're all still the minorities and all of this, that's not a fair conversation because the assistance has always been needed because both of our races have been stolen from. And you know what I mean? Culturally for centuries, which
even
is why
still to this day don't get same opportunities.
And if it is given the opportunity, it comes at a cost or it comes with a price that's less than what
strings
the other
attached.
person. Yeah, like it's something that comes with it that's gonna tax your ass. Right. So that's the thing is like, I mean, I love when people had to like, oh, we just ain't nobody pulling, like everybody needs somebody.
My thinking is if there was no dependency on any of that to begin with, like if there wasn't even a thought in people's mind that like, oh, I could be getting this from the government's help, that it would just be like they're going to do whatever they can to provide for their family. And that's
why I said I feel like it's less than 20% of people that are abusing it, because I feel like most people's idea is that. I don't think anybody's being born and being like, my goal is to be on that. There might be people that are in systems where that's what their family history is because they never broke a chain to get out of that. Yeah. They never made no more money. They never this and that. So that is the game that they play. Not even saying it's a game, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's
in a sense it is though.
It could be, but that's all they know. Is their neighborhood and this program, and that's all they know. So I feel like that's a resource conversation too, because if people don't know that they could be doing UPS and making X, Y, and Z, and like then they ain't gonna stay and do the same.
Especially if the family just wanted to keep that cycle going. You know?
Yeah, because I mean, some people is out of fear of trying something different. Some people is out of, hey, we're comfortable, and that's kind of fear too. It's like, hey, we're comfortable and we don't think we can do any better. So let's stay right here and let's keep this going and this and that. So I just, that's a really good conversation. Like, I feel like it's so many different things with that whole, with resources very and assistance. No, it's super complex of a conversation because I think resources are necessary because there was a point in time where neither one of our, races had assistance, but it was put in place because it was necessary because of how far we've been pushed back. Privilege wise.
I wonder what year that was put into place.
Food stamps?
Well, like government assistance at all.
Let me see. Let's check it out.
I bet it was until like the 70s. Let's many things are new that you wouldn't think so.
That's a fact. Okay, so at least it looks like government assistance in America began in earnest with the Social Security Act of 1935. So that's when that started. So maybe after Social Security sounds like it was, that makes sense because people needed help.
After that, yeah.
So that makes sense is they created it because help us.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it helps the government when they assist.
So 1964 for the food stamps.
Because if you think about it, the government needs to help us out so people can spend money. It's no different than when they put money back in us. Sure. They want you to go spend it so the economy gets booming and doing this and that. So it's dependent upon us being able to be okay. Because if we're doing terrible, it's not good for everybody.
Right.
Mike, can you get the mic?
It said it started in 1939 in New York, and is to use a surplus farm products and help low-income families. But then in 1943, the initial program ended as economic conditions improved. So it was only supposed to ever be a temporary thing.
And it sounded like they got rid of it. I wonder what brought it back.
Same with taxes. Taxes were supposed to be temporary as well.
Well, taxes ain't, that ain't going nowhere. As long as taxes exist, so should all these other systems. Because that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no, I feel like there's no, the debt ceiling, since we was kids, we've been hearing about that on the news, like the trillion. It's not going to stop. So when people be like, well, we shouldn't have this assistance because it's going to increase the debt. Baby, we are $1 trillion in debt.
So it says
another million ain't going to hurt us.
So it says in 1961, President Kennedy revived the food stamp program as pilots, requiring families to buy stamps. And then in 64, President Johnson signed the Food Stamp Act, making the program permanent to boost our agriculture and nutrition.
You know what I'm saying? It's helping something. It's not just helping the people. Like, it helps the, whole country in a sense. Yeah, the whole ecosystem and stuff.
Oh, you had to buy it.
That's interesting.
And then they said that's when it ended in the 70s, 77. The purchase requirement was eliminated, making food stamps free for eligible families.
Okay. Yeah,
they were just trying to make money off of it first, it sounds like.
It's strict. I will say that. Like, I do think it's strict.
I think it's strategic. Especially because, I don't want to jump off course at all, but
yeah.
No, I'm serious. It started with the black communities.
What did?
Where they wanted to separate the families. They want I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the strategicness of dependency. So the moment that they started taking the husbands out of the household.
Oh, like back in slave times.
No, not even slave time. I'm talking about like 70s, 80s.
Oh, so we're not talking about in the beginning.
The beginning, that was 100% strategic still.
Yeah,
they wanted to weaken. They didn't want the strong people involved in the families or any of that.
Yeah. But it was against the law for black people to be like more than like a certain amount of black people in a group. That was a law too.
Yeah. But
like you can't even hang out against each other because it was like against the law. It's like, hey, what are y'all doing? Y'all figuring out a plan to get up out of here? Like that was a law.
Yeah. But like the taking the father out the household in 70s, 80s and the whole prison industrial
very
complex,
strategic.
Everything was done purposefully. But when it comes to the benefits starting around then too, it makes a lot of sense because they wanted the mothers and the kids to be dependent on the government to survive.
Yeah,
because without them,
that's a fair assessment.
That cycle probably started. The cycle we see today started probably right around then.
Yeah.
It to me there was the government did it to like weaken the black family. Weaken the unit.
And there's a lot of groups underneath it. Because, people always say this group or they, like there's a lot of groups that were put in place. I mean, even now when we look at stuff and we see the CIA tweeting Happy MLK Day. Like, are y'all serious?
Y'all killed him.
Yeah, like you know what I mean? Or even thinking about things that happened under Ronald Reagan and the crack epidemic and them
CIA involved in the
putting crack on the streets for people
guns.
to sell, knowing that people were in situations that not saying they put everybody in these situations, but when you give people a certain environment and then say, hey, it's a liquor store on every street, every corner. There's this on every corner. There's this and that.
That was what was created.
What I'm saying, these things are being created to help you destroy yourself. So it's like where you growing up in an environment and now it's like it's nothing but this type of environment around you. And it's like, hey, now we got crack on the streets. I sell it to you for the low. You can make some money for you and your family.
I was watching Straight Outta Compton the other day, and they were in the press conference scene, and Cube said the most perfect line. He said, we got AKs from Russia and cocaine from Colombia, and none of us got passports. So who you think's bringing it in?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
It's a lot. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of,
and that goes to the destruction of the family.
That is very much goes into the destruction of things. And I seen somebody actually talk about this on TikTok. I ain't even really did much research on this, but I found it very interesting. And at this point, the older I get, the more we see things because everything's recorded and more people come out with their stories. You understand how believable things are. You're like, oh, I could see that. But they were saying how in black neighborhoods or minority neighborhoods, it was common that, I don't know who, but there were groups that would come into those areas and just create noise and chaos.
Yeah.
And it was common because that takes down the value of neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And that also, it's so many different reasons why that, like, you got dogs barking and all these things. And they were like, that wasn't the environment of our neighborhoods until somebody helped create it.
Yeah.
And now it is where you're growing up and you're like, I don't hear any police sirens, because you feel like that's your second nature because things have been in place for that.
That shit was very real. They did that during the Rodney King riots. They're the ones that started the destruction. A lot of the police people don't talk about that.
So this was saying, there's so much stuff to unpack. Like, it's a lot of strategy that's been put in place, and it's unfortunate, you know what I mean? But this is the world we live in, and you just gotta do what you gotta do. We talked about fear earlier, and that made me think about, I've never been a big fan of traveling overseas. Mm-hmm. And I feel like what we currently got going on, up top, I definitely, like, I don't want to travel overseas. Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all, like, have a...
I think we were more afraid of just getting back in, like for Mexicans at least, because me and him are both Mexican. I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to go overseas and I want to go check stuff out.
Yeah.
But also, I think America just has a bad rep though too, because a lot of people, once they find out you're American, then you got a target on your back. Yeah. But I heard that you're supposed to, when you go to another country, you're supposed to always check in with the U.S. Embassy there, because then they're always kind of keeping watch and checking up on you too.
That's a good point.
Which I just seen a TikTok about that.
Interesting.
And like, they'll tell you if, hey, this has had some really bad things going on over in this area, be careful around this, or blah blah blah, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, traveling, like, I don't know. Because, like, I was just talking to, like, my parents about this. Like, we're talking about going out of the country and stuff. And my mom was like, I'm just afraid. For real, I'm just afraid, like, they really won't let us in. She's like, it don't matter if you're Mexican, American. It don't matter, because they're just coming for you regardless of just what you look like.
Yeah.
And she's like, and it don't matter if you got a social or whatever. They're
passport. Like, it's ridiculous. It look like it's getting out of hand. It's just like, what's going on?
That's been happening though.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That goes to my point of the fear mongering. Like, a lot of fear being instilled in people.
But I feel like it's not
for
fear.
propaganda.
It's happening.
Hey, it's been happening though.
Yeah,
so, like, I went to Guatemala in 2014, and that was like my first time going out of the country, and coming back, it was I was the only one out of the whole group of people I went with that got stopped. Really? They took all my opened my bag, took my drawers out, took everything out right there in front of everybody too.
Yeah.
And they're like checking all my shit, making sure I wasn't coming back illegally, like all that stuff. So it's just like that's how it's gonna be forever. Because when especially like when you got countries that are super strict about, like, making sure that the tourists have visas if they're going to stay a certain amount of time. And like,
you got to have your documents in order.
Every single country does that too. That's what people don't talk about too. It's like, when you know you're going to stay for longer than a month or whatever, you got to get a visa. Yeah. And if it's for vacation, you got to get one. If it's for work, you got to get one. And you can't overextend that stay. And like, I don't know. Yeah.
I get the checks and balances in place for that. Like, I feel like you need to. But I've watched a movie when I was a kid. I forgot what it was. I feel like it was called. No, it wasn't like No Child Left Behind, or maybe it was, but it wasn't it wasn't like the program thing that Bush started. It wasn't that. It was like a movie where I think it was a lady overseas and she was trying to get away from her husband. It was just crazy. I just remember seeing it as a kid, and I was like, I'm a little bit nervous about going overseas, but I feel like I haven't toured America enough. Like, I haven't went. I haven't went to New York yet. I went to LA yet. I haven't went anywhere here. So that's another reason why I feel like I'm not ready to go overseas. It's not just because I don't think it's wise to go overseas right now.
Right.
I have friends that have birthdays coming up this year. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all so much, but I'm not a fan of going overseas. Like, do y'all not see what's going on?
They doing girls trips overseas right now? That's crazy. Bro. 2 wars going on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all stuff. And then I think something happened in Venezuela where people couldn't get back for a period of time.
Sure, yeah.
Like, just imagine you have a certain amount of funds.
The president got back. No, I'm just
man, you have a certain amount of funds. Like, you cool for another extra days, but you didn't plan for that. Like, it's nothing, you can't plan for the unexpected.
Yeah.
Like, you can have an extra, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to end up in no situation.
And like Jake said, anywhere you go, if you're American, you kind of got a target on your back.
Yeah.
That's a scary part.
I do want to go to Canada, though.
Fuck that.
I mean, I want to go to Canada. Canada seems cool. I mean, probably because Drake has made it look cool to me.
Yeah.
And I've also seen like some of their things, some of their vibes up in Canada. I would go to Canada. If I went anywhere first overseas, it would be there.
I definitely want to go over. I've never been outside of the country. I've always wanted to go, but
same. I need my passport.
It's a rough time, but
it's a rough time. I'm not trying. Look, I'm not for the next 3 years. I'm cool. I don't want to. Don't ask me on no trip to out of the country right now.
Yeah, my trip to Greenland's been paused.
Where were you going?
I said my trip to Greenland's been paused.
Oh, well, yeah, I can't do none of that right now. It's kind of crazy. It's too much going on.
Well, there's that one dude. I mean, there's a guy. They did a report on him that he was going on trips. Anytime some catastrophe or disaster happened there, or like a bombing or anything, because he said it was cheaper, flying, all that, and he was he? Like it was like a big news thing.
No. So there was a guy that he would basically track where disasters were happening, whether they be natural or like anything from a person or whatever. And he said he loved doing that because the flights and everything were cheaper. The hotels and all that were cheaper, and it was safer because of the presence of military or police or whatever.
Was he a Caucasian male?
I don't know. I don't remember what he was. It sounds about right though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm just asking the questions. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Go to the danger.
Right, we're not going.
No,
here.
Yeah,
like,
we stay away.
We're cool. This conversation, I would love y'all opinion on. And I saw people upset about this, and I always felt some way about this topic because I just felt like it's not that serious. People are mad online when they realize that maybe celebrities or just other people have more than them. Yeah. Let me give y'all once I give y'all context, y'all gonna be like, well, like they'll be like, oh, people are dying, people are starving. For instance, Kim Kardashian posted something on her page for her fans. I don't know what it was. It was probably something that the average person can't afford. People in the comments was like so upset. They were just like, people are starving out here and you just spent $30,000 on this. I don't like when people do that because I just feel like, I personally feel that it has no correlation. People are starving and dying, yes. But just because somebody that has the money spent it on something nice, what does that have to do with you? I feel like that's hating.
I agree. Like, I've been saying this forever. I'm like, I really do not care about anyone's wealth. Like, if you have, like, to expect to have the mindset to think that these people need to give back to you, or these people, or they need to do something with their money, is such a dumb mindset to me. Because it's like, until you're in their shoes and you're making that same money, and then you're having all these people saying, well, this is what you need to do with your money, you're going to be like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, this is my money. You know what I mean? I don't, like, if a billionaire, a millionaire, whatever, gives back to the community, awesome, great. They're probably in a tax write-off. I don't really care. Yeah. You know what? Because it's none of my business. Who cares? There's too, like, it's, I see none people. Yeah. Minding my damn. Like, but no, it's just like, it's stupid. I've never, like, I see people complain all the time online about, oh, you're crying in your whatever about this
Rolls
and then.
Royce.
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, it don't have to be that extravagant. But
I'm like, oh, well,
that's how people treated Castanet, and I didn't like it. They were like, you have all this money, you shouldn't be sad. When did money equal happiness?
And also, it's like Dave Chappelle had said a thing about this too, and he was saying, he's like, I don't like being like famous or rich anymore because it's now just a chore. It's worse than what it used to be. Yeah. It's this and that, and I don't know. I can see that. And I just take it, and also it's just like, I just think people are just looking for something to bitch about. And I think getting mad it's because someone has more money than you. Yeah. Fuck it. Whatever, dude.
Right. Yeah. What you think?
What you're referring to is just a bunch of trolls. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't think it's that serious.
I feel like success of people is like, it's always a matter of hard work, luck, or who you fuck. Mm-hmm. Like that's like one of the three main categories. Mm-hmm. And the only people of those that I actually have anything to say about is pastors.
Pastors can't have none in East Side's eyes.
No, they can't be wealthy. You could have money and you could be comfortable.
They can't be wealthy. But
No.
What's the difference? Wait, I thought earlier we came to a consensus of they just can't be flashy and you need to be modest. Now you're saying that if they got the money,
shouldn't be wealthy. They're
going to be wealthy. Some of them could be wealthy.
Is what's past rich.
Wealthy to me is like you're passing this down to your family. What's wrong with that?
Not all of it. You've seen Righteous Gemstone.
But you do realize that they have to pay themselves, right?
100%.
Like you do realize. I feel like people forget that part. Is like they got to pay them. It's like a business
between a livable income and 5 people's livable
but that's going to be different for everybody.
Person.
That's no different than a food stamp conversation. Is like, oh, well,
you
need Reese's cups?
It's not a livable income if you're getting Rolls Royces. Like
I guess, but that to me is no different than somebody you watching somebody pockets. I do understand the flashiness of it, but so when it comes to the pastors, I get that.
And I'm not out here trolling online. I don't really give a fuck. But in conversation though,
right? Of course we have.
At the end of the day, it's not going to affect me at all.
Yeah.
But when you're coming from a position of religion,
yes,
and you profiting off of God and Jesus,
you should be careful about how you
got to be careful.
Be very careful. I agree with that.
And you do owe some people something if you got yourself.
Definitely, I love when I see churches that give scholarships. I got a scholarship for my church.
Yeah.
I forgot how much it was. Maybe about 1,000 or a couple thousand when I first went to college.
Right.
But I like when churches do stuff like that, and most of them do that because they're a source for the community, a safe space. So if they have those scholarships and stuff, like make sure you continue to repurpose if you do have funds, or maybe somebody donates an amount that you're like, you know what, I felt led to do this.
Yeah.
Like, let's put this money here instead of the church fund because, whatever. So, I mean, churches have funds to help their people out when, times do get hard. I actually talked about this last time. I don't feel like you was really here for this conversation, but I wanted to touch on it again because I felt led. And now that I have DJ'd more, I understand more of what the DJs be saying. So, like, first and foremost, I've always hosted and been on the mic. Mm-hmm. Now, when I've ever hosted and been booked to host, like I'll check with the DJ and just be like, hey, do you mind if I pull the fader down, like touch their board and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I'll check and make sure it's okay. Cause this is your equipment. I never felt comfortable touching it. Like I just ask. So I already had that level of respect. But what I noticed too when I was hosting is there's strangers that kind of come up like, hey, let me get on the mic. Who are you? Like they're maybe drunk, just lit off excitement. Maybe you really got them out of body. And they're just like, yo, can I get on the mic? I've had that happen when I was just hosting stuff where I'm like, I'll check too, because I try to be nice to everybody that enters the booth. Because that's just how I am. It's like, okay, I'm just nice and cool. You coming up here maybe to greet me, or maybe you coming up here. Nobody's coming normally for bad energy. Mm-hmm. I mean, you will have sometimes people are. But I'm nice to everybody that enters the DJ booth. But now it's going to be roped off. So, because it's too much chaos. People doing too much up there. But what I wanted to say was, if you have to ask the DJ for the mic or ask that person for the mic, you probably shouldn't have it. Because I feel like anytime I went to an event and I wasn't booked and Brian's DJing, he'll just hand it to me. Because he'll be like, do a little da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Do your little one too. But if you're in there begging for the mic, you probably shouldn't be on it. Like, who are you? And I've really witnessed some crazy stuff. And now that I've DJ'd, I've experienced seeing people host. And I don't really personally, it's only a few people that I prefer to have host if I'm DJing. Because I can do it myself. But I've had some interesting things where people were hosting and I was DJing and it was reverse. It felt reverse, like what I've experienced before. And I was like, I wish they would shut up. Respectfully, because this might not be necessary. I could tell they're hitting the wrong cues. And you just talked over a perfectly sweet blend. Like you just talked over some smooth, cool stuff that I just did and no one's hearing it because you're yelling. Like, have y'all been to a party where people are just like, have you ever walked into a function where you're like, who is this?
I walked into a bar in Westport, and the guy, I don't know, his friends, I don't know who he was, but he was on the mic pretty much the whole night. And I literally watched him walk through the whole bar on the mic, and he did like a couple rounds. Yeah, and I was like, honestly, also
he was talking while he was walking.
Yeah, just the whole time, hyping up, whatever. And also sometimes, like when I'm in the club and someone's on the mic the whole time, at least me and my friends are always like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, we just want to hear music. We don't want to hear you yell and hype up. It's already loud enough in here. I ain't got to hear your voice. Like, it's, I don't know. I think sometimes it's unnecessary. Yeah. But I also agree. If you're having to go and beg or try to be on something, you're probably not the shit, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe
you're not who you think you are.
You're not bigger than the program. But that's like, it's a trend, like I mentioned last time, that people are going online and posting clips of people being invasive.
I was just watching these the other day,
invasive, I think. Yeah, and it's crazy. I got to show y'all a video of something that happened with me, and it was a lady that touched the DJ. It was I didn't know who she was. And like I said, I played it cool. I just was like, we're not doing that. And then I put my arm up and then she left. But like, it was crazy because I've been astonished at what I've seen on TikTok and what I've kind of been seeing in person.
I blame the establishment for that.
You do, but you also have to make sure you indicate certain things to them. Sure. Because if you everybody has a different type of energy. Yeah. Like you have some people that's like, maybe it's roped off, so you can't get there anyways. Maybe it's someone that's standing there, so you have to kind of check. And then some is just maybe open. And, you know, people do kind of come up and greet and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I just want to introduce myself. And then they go about their day. Mm-hmm. So I've ran into a lot of I've run into people to be like, hey, I follow you on TikTok. That's the only reason I came. We take a nice... Cool. Yeah, right. So we take a nice little picture, you know. But we'll take, I mean, you know, I'm in the business of, you know, shaking hands, hugging babies. Like, that's what I'm doing. That's my job, though. So it's like, I'm not an asshole. Like, I want to meet people. That's my job. Yeah. That's what I enjoy to do. And that's, like, personally me. So it's like, when you come from that type of background, too, it's a little bit harder to just be like, nope.
Yeah.
Forget everybody, because I'm not necessarily like that.
You're nice, though, because I feel like there's a time and a place for that.
There is a time and a place for certain things.
It's like how celebrities... They don't mind you going up to them, but if they're eating dinner,
yes, there is a time and a place. Because they're like, Nene had a point where a fan just walked up behind her and hugged her. She didn't greet her or nothing.
That's crazy. Yeah,
awkward. That's weird.
Yeah.
Say, excuse me, miss, something. Hey.
And like, if you're in the middle of a set and someone's coming up to you to try to introduce themselves, what do you do?
It really does depends on how you do it. Because I've had people do it. It don't bother you though. I mean, at times, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But like, I feel like certain people do it in certain ways where it's like, it's okay because I can tell you're not lingering and you really intentions are pure. You're just trying to come up here. You're not trying to throw me off my game. Like, but there are times where people are like standing in front of the booth, like, your song is gonna eventually play. Well, you know what?
That's Jake's go-to.
No, people do this part. He put up this. People, what'd you say?
So that's his go-to.
What this?
Where you hold it up. I done that like once or twice, but I remember our friend did that at Red Room to the DJ. They just played around. He's like, and the DJ was like, I can't see it, so I mean, you just have to come up here, dude. Like, and he kind of got like really pressed about it, and we were like, oh, all right, just having a little fun.
I've had that. Believe it or not, I've had more of these moments where people said on it. Like when I was just at Monarch, I had a lady that came up and was like, "You're the best DJ ever."
Oh,
so most of the time, I'm not getting requests.
Play Bad Bunny.
I'm getting people that's like showing some love or like, "Hey, that was cold" or whatever. I have had a couple of moments where people like, play this. Like I just did something and somebody was like, play this. And I'm like, that's the song for the end of the night. I just started playing music 10 minutes ago. Yeah. I'm not playing that yet. It's two people in here.
Yeah, wait. There's a way. There's a way you got to do it. And I mean, trust me. I mean, you know it because you're a DJ. But
I'm not technically a DJ. You have an ear for music just like I have an ear for music.
Yeah, I've been at parties where I'm like, they'll have me on the aux. I'm like, let's give it some time before we get into that. And they're like, no, let's play now. I'm like, why? Ain't no one here.
People don't know any. Like, people they just want what they want. Mm-hmm. I get it, but it's a majority game. Like, you got to cater to everybody, and then every now and then you cater to the people that would be in the minority in that room.
Just always play for the women. That's all I know.
And play for the women, like you mentioned
always
before.
Play for the women.
Yeah. So, that's that on that. I'm trying to think. What else did I have on this list? What else has been really going on in the news? Let me triple check. It's a lot of little small stuff. The Druski thing was the biggest conversation I really wanted to have with you guys.
Yeah, that was. Druski was funny for that.
Yeah, and well.
But comedy is always exposing something, or it's always you got to see something from a different point.
Yeah, you're gonna joke about something. Like I think it's nothing wrong with that.
How do you feel about like the culture now when it comes to joking and like people doing that, like kind of pointing out the serious stuff about like kind of like how Druski did it? You know, some people getting upset.
Yeah,
but like, how do you feel like when it comes to that?
I don't think it's a big deal. Like I feel like. I think it's how you do it, because I have seen some people. It's a guy, I forget his name. I see him on Twitter all the time. It's like a short black dude, bald head. I think he's kind of like a comedian, but he does like his comedy is. I think he did like a whole tour where it was like a church tour, where he was kind of reenacting church. Where
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I kind of seen some of his stuff,
but I don't like that. Like I don't think that's
you don't
cool.
like mockery.
Yeah, because you're mocking like regular church. Yeah. You're not like Druski was putting the shine on people that be shiesty.
It's just the way it's just like the way you expose it or shine
but I don't care for that. Is like the whole sermon, your whole comedy set is you like acting and pretending to be a pastor.
Right.
I think, and then you actually like you maybe do a voice, okay, cool for a little joke, but the whole show, and then you also at a church type of congregation, you're over here talking about what's wrong with you, sir? Let me heal you. Like I don't like that. That's mockery to me. Right. That's sacrilegious. Like that's not cool. Like what are you doing, bro?
He said, I'm gonna impregnate her with the word of God.
like once again, his whole skit was still like that, because people, once again, he's pulling from stuff that has happened and, this and that. But the other guy, I don't know his name. I wish I could remember. I just wasn't a fan of like when I seen stuff like that. Like, it's like you joking a little bit. I don't know. You kind of making a mockery out of something that's real. Like, you ain't joking about the people that's making a mockery out of God. You're joking about the people that actually are really into this.
Right.
So I think, and then you got your like SNL jokes.
I can't stand SNL.
I was gonna say, I feel like they've done some really good skits. I watch when they go viral. Like when I see something, I don't go watch it. Like I think I might have watched it when Travis did it. Like watched like an episode or two. If it's somebody that I really, you want to see, then I really want to see, then I'll go check it out. But I don't really, you know what I'm saying. As a kid, I of course watched it, but
I don't know. I think this world needs more comedy now. More than ever. I think so. I think it's too tense in this world right now. Well, I think there's so much shit going on.
But what's funny is I feel like we always say that. Like, think about it. Even in 2016, there was probably somebody, like, it just continues to get worse in a sense. Like, we think everything's bad.
I will say, and I only say it because you don't see comedy movies anymore. Mm-hmm. You don't see comedy movies in theaters. Give me an example,
like Rush Hour.
That was racist. Like literally, like the last.
It was funny. Yes, it was. The jokes was racist. We can be honest. That's not making it less funny.
Literally, like the last comedy movie before like this year and last year, maybe I had seen was. You remember Good Boys with the little kids in middle school? With Seth Rogen, he made it and all that.
No, I never seen it. I see it came out in 2019.
So basically, that was like the last time they were really putting out movies. They started again, but like you just don't see it anymore. Oh, yeah, it's all like everything's serious.
Classic comedy.
That's one part that me and Jake disagree with a lot, and I want your opinion on this. Mm-hmm. I hate when it's mainly comedies, but I hate when there's movies or TV shows that have kids in them. And they have nothing but raunchy adult humor in them. Oh, because I think that's really fucked up. No, it's like you're making it's same uncomfortable. Thing, yeah. It's uncomfortable, but like from production standpoint, these kids are having to not only study these lines, they have to truly understand them. Then they have to recite them over and over. I'm sure they do after a while. Maybe, because they got to go over it. They got to kind of have
depend upon their age.
But like this movie, Good Boys,
it was like that.
It was bad. Oh, okay. It was to the point where they were carrying around a life-size silicone sex doll. It wasn't like a blow-up doll. It was like a realistic sex doll, and it's like even though it's edgy comedy, it could have been edgy without kids.
The kids, yeah.
Like
I agree. Then I agree.
Have you
I haven't
Old
seen
School?
it.
Old School is an old movie that is definitely.
It's called
on
Old
the
School.
line.
That's the name of it.
It's an older one.
But which I could see that, and I can agree that
I've
some
seen
of that
Dodgeball because I keep seeing Will in here. So yeah,
and
that was a good movie.
I can agree that some of that stuff is a little weird considering all the stuff you hear now with Hollywood and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but I will say, in the sense of comedy being raunchy or uncomfortable, that's like the whole point of it, though. Too not saying that, but comedy,
I know what you're saying. It's gonna push a line.
A lot of it, comedy is always supposed to make you uncomfortable. Or it's supposed to make you see something in a different light. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. Some people, but that's the thing is people have their sense of humor.
Right.
It's just it's to what you like.
Up to your discretion.
Me and my family, we went and saw that movie. We thought it was freaking hilarious. Mm-hmm. But I know Esai, he doesn't like that type of comedy.
Yeah.
He never has. Like we just watched a thing.
What? What was it?
Will Ferrell, Eastbound and Down. Yeah, that one was pretty wild. We'll let you find that one out on your own. But sometimes I will say sometimes the stuff with the kids though it is a little like we probably
distasteful. Some stuff is distasteful. I'm gonna just be honest.
Sometimes there's a lot of people who just do stuff for shock factor.
Yeah,
which I don't think is always the funniest because if you're just saying stuff, then you're just doing ignorant shit or just doing it being like just trying to get shocked. But comedy, I don't know. I just feel like comedy just really needs to come back badly.
Yeah, I don't know. I gotta think of shows or movies and stuff that's like comedy focused. Like the stuff I do watch, I feel like has comedy into it. I just don't know if it's the comedy focused.
See, like 12 years ago, you could think of something because there was so much, but now it's just like you don't really see
But I will
much.
say this too. It's like you said, comedy is up for everyone's like interpretation, and then also what you like edgy comedy, raunchy comedy, whatever. It's so many different things. But I feel like for me, maybe this is because I'm also a woman. I feel like it's certain things I just can't watch that's comedy because I don't think it's funny.
Right.
It's stupid. Like it's like I feel like not trying to make it a male and female thing, but it's certain jokes that you all can tolerate way better than an average woman is.
Right.
It's something that you guys are going to think is so damn funny, and we're going to be like, we get the joke, but this is immature as hell. Like, so it's like that's a thing too, where it's just like I can't. It's certain movies that even my co-host has mentioned. He's like, you ain't seen this movie or you didn't watch that, and I know that the movie is immature as hell. Like it's like I can't watch it in my adult life, bro. Like I would have had to watch it as a 12-year-old to think this is funny.
I wish Brian was here for this conversation.
Yeah, he gonna have to come back. Like it's so many movies that he'd be like, oh, you haven't seen this, and I'm like, as a 29-year-old woman, black woman, why do you think that I can sit here now and watch X, Y, and Z and think it's funny? When you fell in love with it when you were 15, I'm not going to correlate the same. I'm going to be like, that's kind of, and it might be more inappropriate now because it probably didn't age well.
Yeah, for sure.
So now I might be like,
Still funny though.
You might catch those, for sure. You can catch different things now because you're older too, and you have a different mindset. But some, like I'm saying, it's just some movies. It's like I know for a fact I'm not gonna watch these because it's too. I miss my window to accept this.
Sure.
Because I'm too damn grown now.
Yeah.
I'm not even that grown.
But that's the thing. I think all comedy is immature.
He's trying to just push the.
It's true. Because you know what? You know what the funniest thing is in comedy?
What?
Is a good fart. Serious, like that will never not be funny.
But that's not immature to me.
That's super immature.
But listen, what I think
to laugh at a fart is pretty immature.
But I think what's immature is how it's done. Like if it's in a movie,
you seen Step Brothers, right?
Nah.
Why?
Because that's immature.
No, but that's like one of the #1 comedies ever.
I know what the movie is, but I wasn't watching. So I'm not big on comedy like that.
When it comes to farts, there was a scene in there where they were at a job interview, right? And they went in a pair in tuxedos. It was both of them, like looking for a job, right? And one, they got the job at one spot, and they were getting ready to get hired on. Yeah. And the guy just said like,
In a quiet room? Was it quiet room?
Yeah,
or it was
real
just discreet?
loud fart.
Yeah, that could be funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I can get that, but I feel like that's not intentional. So that what makes certain things funny is it's not intentional. What makes certain things not funny and immature is when you're trying to crack a laugh. So if that movie was like maybe a little boy running around the room farting on purpose, this is immature. Like, this isn't funny. But if you accidentally let one go, now it's funny.
It's relatable.
It's like, we done been in a couple meetings and it was getting tight in there. It was getting sticky. God. So I just feel like that's how you produce it is different too.
Yeah, but I just said that to say that like all comedy is immature in a sense.
I think it has a level of it. It just depends on the delivery.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it could just, but
it could be distasteful.
Absolutely.
There you go.
There's plenty of things that are out here that's very distasteful. You just look at people and be like, nah.
That's true.
It's the face. I wish I was being on the camera too. Anything else? Anything else that I might have missed? He's like, nah, I'm ready to go home. Right? He been drinking this Hennessy straight.
I know.
You lit.
How do you feel about today's culture when it comes to relationships, Esai? Now that you have a drink, now you have a drink in your hand.
You should have started drinking earlier. No.
Quite frankly, I think it's the perfect time to date. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's horrible. What do you think?
This is our only lifetime, though. So do we really know if it's really horrible or not?
Phrase the question better.
I don't know how to phrase that.
Okay, then
how do you think about the current dating, like dating culture, dating society? Like that's what it sounds like.
All right, look.
There are apps.
I could give you guys the best PR answer.
Please.
I am not in that world, so
we know.
anything I say would be
null and void.
Yeah, exactly. Just be opinion based. It'd be hearsay.
It's hearsay. We can't even see
reach.
You. Yeah. It's a reach. It's AI.
It's AI. Yeah. So I don't know. It's great.
Oh, this is really the PR answer. I thought you was gonna give us a real answer.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, next week. Give us an answer next week. Okay, next week. Yeah. Yes, we'll start with that next week. So yeah, we'll talk relationships first. Actually, I'm gonna do that.
You should do that.
I got a couple therapists on standby, so I'll find a marriage counselor.
It would be interesting. You got a therapist on.
Yes. I forgot her name too. Started with a J. Yep. Jamisha Sykes, I believe is her full name. Yeah, and I think she might do some couple therapy. That would be interesting. Just ask her nothing but relationship questions. I like that.
What's the number one thing you see? Yeah, like what causes all these relationship issues?
Right. Next week. Okay, so y'all already know what the show is gonna be. We're gonna reach out and get a marriage counselor. So if you were trying to date or whatever, we're gonna help you out. We might need to include him in the episode. I actually was gonna text you. Shout out to John, by the way, because I was actually just thinking, I'm like 314 days around the corner, and I need to have you on the episode with me. So we'll figure that out too. Lots of episodes in the works, and then also sponsorships. I'm looking for a sponsor for the Offer Hustle. I'm trying to figure out, is it going to be this company? Is it going to be that company? It needs to be your company. So hit us up, the Offer Hustle. It's your favorite cousin, Deona Hustle. Appreciate y'all.